I blame it on Twitch.
You should.
Okay, let's retweet this biz. That guy.
Twitch. Yeah, so this was whatchamacallit. This was an interesting week, Battlefield.
Oh.
If you hadn't noticed some of the weird quotes and stuff, like with the third sock.
No, I haven't. I haven't been online all week, pretty much. You know, from fires.
Yeah,
Thanks, nature.
Yeah, well, you know, it's actually not nature's fault.
Yeah.
Well, we got into story time with Bulgurk Friday night. I didn't know Bulgurk was a Marine.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, some stuff we probably really can't talk about on here, but
Yeah, probably not.
But there is a reason why they carry an extra clean sock.
Yes.
There is.
I'm the only one that thought them watching each other take poops with an infrared scope was funny.
That's actually pretty funny.
That is.
I was like, how are you guys not laughing at it? Oh, it's so gross. I was like, think of what that sentence entails.
Yeah.
So, I hear there's
if I had it, I would totally do that.
Yeah. So I hear there's a horrible story regarding the fires and how they started.
Yeah, so, went to work on Wednesday? Tuesday? I don't remember when the fire started.
But you didn't start it.
I did not start the fire.
It's been burning for a while.
You didn't.
No, I didn't.
Since the world was turning?
The guy who works for me says, hey, you should go look outside. I said, sure. This is probably something dumb/funny, like a horrible car out there or something. No, it looked like our building was on fire. So I walked, and we are at the end of basically a cul-de-sac with one entrance and one exit.
Oh.
So I was standing there, and we look there's sort of this valley that goes next to our work. On the other side, all of it is on fire. Just 100%. We hear in the half an hour that we're standing there, we hear 5 transformers explode. And I'm talking to the CEO of the company. I was like, we need to go. Like, we need to leave right now. I don't care if they haven't given us an evacuation notice. We gotta go. Because I'm not getting trapped up here and dying for this company.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you know, it should be fine. And as we're looking at a hillside burning. And I was like, yeah, okay, we're going to go. We're going to take our data. We're going to take a couple servers. We're leaving. Like, right now. So I have a couple of great pictures of it, especially me driving away. I snapped a picture in one of my side mirrors, and all of it is black smoke.
Wow.
Just
screw that.
There's this two sides of this freeway, both running the same direction, fleeing from this fire. If we would have left any later, it would have trapped us there.
That's
oh no! Did the building survive?
Building survived, and we kept power actually, which is really weird.
That's impressive.
So we get home, and this was the second fire that had started. There was a fire that started up by the big military camp out here. That was started by an oil truck had tipped over.
Okay.
And not only have we been in a drought, a very serious drought for about 6 months, it has been around 100 degrees everywhere, and we're in a Santa Ana. So all the winds are coming from the desert instead of coming from the ocean.
Yeah.
So when this truck tipped over, it sparked a fire, and it had oil. So it was just a ball of fire. And the one that started near my work was started by a backhoe that started a spark, and it just went crazy. The other fires out of the 12 fires that started have suspicious origin points, as they've been called.
Very suspicious origin points.
Those 12 fires are only the big fires. That doesn't count the little fires that were started otherwise. The big fires, the big fire that you guys were probably seeing on TV, one of them there was a house that burnt down. This really, really big white house, like
Yeah.
a three-story house. You guys probably saw that one.
Uh-huh.
It's just across the street from my fiance's dad's house.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're watching TV and watching to see if his house burns down. While we're also watching Twitter, seeing fires sprouting up in our city. One of them, before they finally caught the person that was setting the fires in our city, was 6 blocks away from our old house.
That sucks.
And
oh my God.
it was just this whole thing where, like, we're sitting in our house just completely powerless against someone that's setting fires. And every time we turned around, there was another fire. And they at this point still don't have them 100% contained. So there are still fires still kind of burning around. So, and about an hour ago, they let the last people, they sent the last repopulation notice. So everybody should be at home now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine if your home burns down on national TV, that's kind of beyond rebuke that you set the fire.
Yeah.
At least the insurance claim will be clean.
Yeah, I think from what my fiance said, I think that house had been empty for quite a while. So there's kind of no surprise that it went down. But I mean, I can't even imagine the amazing talent of these firefighters that kept this house from not burning when the house across the street burnt down to its foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, some people were starting to talk a little bit of yang about some of these firefighters and how they weren't working hard enough, but most of them were working 36-hour shifts. The temperature was 104 degrees with no fire, and most people don't know that most of their gear is about 100 pounds altogether.
Yeah. Actually, Cracked did a really great article about fighting wildfires a while back.
Yeah.
If you have a chance, check it out. It's good.
Well, it's really interesting too because I can't say what the firefighters were doing. If I were in their shoes, I would probably try to let most of this stuff burn and save the houses so it doesn't burn again. Because when you look at the stuff, it looks like the moon. Like everything is gray, everything is gone. Trees, plants, in some areas, houses. But like in my town, only 3 houses burned down in this highly populated area.
Yeah.
When a fire was next to it, that's like 2,500 acres.
Yeah.
So like for that to be able to happen is, I mean, I can't even imagine. I mean, super props to them for effectively fighting that fire so well to be able to save so many places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, firefighters are something that I don't know. It drives me crazy because that's like the things that are always in the chopping block: cops and firefighters.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh yeah, that seems like an expense until you need it.
Yeah, until your house is burning.
Yep.
They were bringing firefighters from Beverly Hills. I mean, from hours and hours away, just because these fires were so spread out and so huge. So, and only 1 death.
That's astonishing.
And there was a
Was it the kid lighting the fires?
No, it was quote unquote a vagrant who was at the beginning of at the starting point of one of the fires, and it just looks like he was asleep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing peaceful about that.
It's been a really interesting week.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
We were supposed to fly out to Ohio this weekend too. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is good because that flight got delayed 3 hours and then had a 5-hour layover because of that delay. So
could you imagine being stuck in that airport for an extra 3 hours just to have it canceled?
At O'Hare? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Wasn't looking forward to that.
No, nobody looks forward to O'Hare. No,
No.
I mean, I live here, and it's like, oh yeah, O'Hare's huge, but it sucks.
They have a dinosaur in there, though. I like that guy.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
Other than that, it's ugh.
we had pretty much the opposite effect of the dry weather here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane amount of rain Monday. Monday night was ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like literally, like the bad portion of it. Like you could be either a little further north or a little further south where I was, and you wouldn't have got hit nearly as bad.
Yeah.
So everyone's freaking out. All my neighbors are calling me, "Hey, come over, come in the basement." And I'm sitting there playing Battlefield. I'm like, I look at my dogs. They're passed out like they are, like this, you see, like
Lazy lumps.
they're passed out cold. I'm like, you know what? They're not freaked out. I don't have anything to worry about. I'm gonna sit here and play Battlefield. I'll tell you guys. I'll call you guys later. If it gets bad, I'll come over. So I look outside. The water is coming off of my roof so fast that it's literally washing out my mulch bed down my driveway.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, And then the hail started.
Oh, fun.
Luckily, it was coming in a direction. It was bouncing off of my roof, like up over my truck. But I mean, there were golf ball size hails coming down. I'm like, now I'm real happy I got a company car.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with that shit.
That was my last Sunday night. We over to a friend of mine's every weekend to watch Game of Thrones, and we're like, yeah, let's have dinner first. Let's grill up some burgers. Well, it was starting to drizzle when we put them on. It was full on hailing when we went to take them off.
Yeah.
There's a video on Facebook. It's fantastic.
It was intense there for a little bit. Then you walk out, the parkway was under 3 feet of water.
Jeez.
The entire parkway.
Wow.
Done. Big Met and Mastic Woods down the Metro Park courses were literally flooded out. Like
Jeez.
you couldn't pull a golf cart into them. Like it was just that wet. But it was rain. Everyone's there's so much rain this year. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
It's the Midwest. That's what happens.
Spring. This
Yeah.
happens every year. It's like you idiots complaining about the cold.
Dimebag315 in chat says, if you could, would you move back, Boston? Nah. I like it out here.
I'll tell
How
you
is
one
it for
thing.
your allergies?
It's been a nightmare for me personally.
Yeah, mine have been miserable too because it's so dry. Everything is just blooming out here.
Yeah. Well, this week's been awful because on Monday it was 86. Yesterday, or Friday rather, it was like 40.
Nice. Spring in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that temperature swing
50-degree
too.
swings over the course of a day.
Yep.
But it's just so funny. It's like we're like this extreme polar opposites of where we are right now as far as weather. And
Yep.
It's
Good times.
should have been a meteorologist.
You guys ready to kick off this biz?
Yep.
What? 343, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And then heck these two. Alright, I got what I've been playing. Anything else we need to go
I'm
over?
good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, happy belated birthday again, Hannah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
Yep. It was fun.
Good time.
What'd you get?
Actually, I got a PS4 controller, a second one, and tickets to go see Mark Maron in June.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
My parents funny.
He's angry, but he's funny.
Yeah, he is.
Bitter. I
Yeah.
think bitter's the word.
Yeah, bitter. I like his little skit he does on Tosh every once in a while. His fake prank show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's just
pretty good.
it's just him just does something awful. He calls them idiots. That show was a guilty pleasure. I don't care what anybody says. I laugh my ass off.
What show?
People do dumb in Tosh.
That's one of the worst shows on TV.
Not gonna argue with you, but
Hey, man.
it has its moments.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let's start the season of Brad.
Ooh. Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the Skype room, we have Knobs.
Hello, Pants.
And we have the Hannah.
Hey.
Quick note here. We are still dealing with some last of the issues with fires here in San Diego. And
I can't say that.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He just reads whatever's on the teleprompter. If things sound a little bit weird, I'm recording in a room that's basically empty, so it might sound a little echoey, and the window's open because it's hot as hell. So if there are noises outside, please deal with it. I really am.
It is hot as two spherical objects.
Yes. Without further ado, Mr. Knobs, what have you been playing this week?
Hey, so we tried to do game night once again, and it turned into Battlefield 4 Fest.
There you go.
I think we're kind of stuck with that for a little bit.
Hey, you know, it's a revolving door. Whatever's hot at the moment, you're going to be enjoying. Getting your money worth.
We sit there, like, we're all getting there a little early, so I'm not bowling anymore for till the next 4 weeks, whenever bowling starts again. Because that season lasts, I don't know, 90 weeks in a row.
90 on, 4 off. That's normal.
Yeah, that's par for the course, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But no, we're having a good time. We're like, hey, we're gonna switch over, play Gears. I think 2 of us hopped over. We're going back Battlefield. Okay. So we ended up going back playing Battlefield to, like, I don't know, late, like maybe 12 bells, but it wasn't too bad. But we continued to play it the rest of the week, because that's what we do now. Stupid recordings. I have completely maxed out my sniper rifles now, and now I'm getting in, like, enemy at the gate style sniper battles with one guy.
Hold on. Kudos on the reference, by the way. That's a great movie.
But no, I mean, that's what it is. And I tell you what, I'm not Versilis because I'm getting smoked.
Nice.
The dude's landing them as bombshells are coming down, and I don't even know where these things are coming from. It was the one I got into today was, like, the one I would say I legitimately lost because he took me 0 for 7. Like,
wow.
But I shot him 4 times. That was the part that was driving me crazy. So, let me set the scene. We're at the Hane Resort, Hane, whatever it is. There's a big hotel in the middle.
And the Hyundai Resort. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
it's been a long week.
Like, it's a long, narrow map, and there's, like, little points and stuff. And I have this little spot behind B where I kind of nestle up and I just snipe people and just drive people crazy. So I work my way over there. I drop down my little tugs, my whatever beacon that lets me know when someone's coming close to me, so I can pull out my little shorty shotty and take care of them. Anyway, so I get out there, I snipe a couple of dudes, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking around. There's no one around. I'm like, so I get out my scoper thing. I'm like, scouting. Ooh, that dude is... he's out there. So, all right, so I get the range. He's, like, 700 plus meters out. I'm like, all right.
Jeez.
So, and I just unlocked the attachment for the rangefinder on the scopes now. So I just pull up in it, go click, 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 line up the shot, shoot one round, and I see the little X pop up. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't kill him. Dang it. So I rack out another round, line up, look down my sights, boom, I'm dead. I'm like, son of a... All right.
One shot, one kill, man.
Yeah, someone's coming to play. All right.
I was like, all right. Here's where we go, and it pops up what gun he killed you with what attachment. It's like, all right, so he's got his ballistic scope, this 40 times scope or whatever it is, and straight pull, so he doesn't have to pop out his zoom to reload. So I'm like, all right. So I equip my tripod, got everything so I can just get a nice steady shot down. I get back up, I set the tripod down. The second, like, it does a little flip out, boom, boom, no bullet in my face. I'm like, all right. going to spot B, which is about 40 yards to the right of it. I'm figuring he's got a 40 times zoom scope. He doesn't know where that spot is. I get there, I get set up. Boom, another one in my dome. I'm like, oh. All right. What am I gonna do now? So I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna sneak around him and outflank him. So I get all it. He's like way back in his deployment at this point, like to the point where I can't go up and stab him. So I get up as close as I can to this deployment. I sneak around the rock. I see him, like, got him. Boom, put one in his chest, and he doesn't go down. I'm like, come on. So then he goes and scurries away for a little bit. I'm like, all right, while he's regenerating health, I'm just go. I kill like 3 or 4 other guys. As soon as I turn and creep back around the rock to see if he's there, boom, another one in my skull. I'm like, come on, this is driving me nuts. Oh. So I'm like, all right, enough of this. I equip the big scope. I go up. I'm at our deployment. I get up on top of the rocks, and this is granted. These places couldn't be any further apart from each other. I don't know how he found me so quickly. So I get up there. I don't know, maybe I'm following every other sniper's routine. So I get up on this one spot. I'm like, all right, I got it. Locked in. Boom, I shoot this, and I am 750 meters out at this point. I hit him again, and he doesn't die. And as soon as that ball comes in, it's like he batted it back at me. Here comes the bullet, and boom, puts me down again. I'm like, oh my God, now it's 6 times this man has killed me. So then I sneak around. I see another guy sniping out in this island. I was like, all right, I need a momentum booster here. So I line up this guy. I put him down, and then I turn the face where he is again, and another bullet hits me in the face. I'm like, I am out.
You have won, good sir.
I didn't spawn back in the rest of the match. I'm like, I'm just too furious.
Bowing out.
But I did want to see how many kills he had. So out of his, guess how many kills that man had during that round?
30.
11, and I was 7 of them.
You were not just a statistic. You were all of his kills.
It was a vendetta. I was like,
it was personal.
And I didn't really rage quit. I just like, because we only had like maybe half a dozen tickets left, but the last time he got me. That round it was 25 minutes of torture.
Oh, man.
Trying to kill this guy. And I got 4 bullets into him, and I couldn't kill him.
Wow. It's rough, man.
But on the plus side, I was making some insane shots on a couple of the other maps. Like, I shot a guy through, like, this, like, one angle, like, window. I had, like, this one little shot is about the width of a baseball, and I arced a bullet right in there and killed somebody. I scored 3 headshots in a row from 500 meters out from the top of this one tower into a pillbox. Like, it was about 520 meters out, and I'm like, I wonder if I could make this shot. So I go, boom, 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 and I was like, boom, but I just see kill, 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 kill. I'm like, oh man! I was so happy I didn't even record it, but it was, oh man, I'm having some crazy fun with this game. And doing the stupid little challenges to unlock some of the specialer weapons, because you have your you can max out your tree, and then you just start unlocking attachments for every gun, just by using the gun. Then, but then there's these medals that come with guns. I'm like, ooh, what are these things? Ooh. So now like I'm doing like, all right, I'm gonna kill a guy with a shotgun, a C4 satchel, and sniper rifle, and a grenade. That seems easy enough. No, it's not easy enough because grenade kills are the most fickle things in the world.
Yeah.
Luckily, the hurt locker came up where I can just chuck grenades like nonstop. Nice. But that one I got that in, and now I'm playing with the LMGs, which I swear to God they just shoot Nerf pellets. Like I have it has a 400 round magazine, and literally it takes 120 bullets to put somebody down.
Jeez.
It's the most frustrating thing, and that's like all everyone loves using. I'm like, screw these things. Like I go with the DMR, 3 rounds, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time the sniper is 1 shot and the guy's out, but
most of the time,
I don't know if I was just winging them, because I mean most of the time I was only using like an 8 scope, and I couldn't have my variable zoom on because I had the rangefinder attachment on it. So I figured while I'm aiming down sights, I can adjust my bullet fall, right, or my 0 marking, or whatever the hell they call it on there. But oh man, It is. I'm having some fun.
Man, it kind of makes me want to play it. Like you telling me these great sniping stories is sort of like, you know what, I could get into that. I could spend some time, get some good sniping up, and spend some time doing that.
Yeah. But even with that, like the first sniper rifle is just as powerful as the last sniper rifle.
Oh, good.
So you can sit there and just unlock everything you can for that first one, and it is as deadly as the top tier one.
That's how it should be. It should be all attachments. It should be look and feel, stuff like tripod and things like that. Like those are the attachments you should be. It shouldn't be like, oh, I put 30 hours into it and I have something that shoots through 3 dudes with half of a bullet.
Yeah, it's not like whatchamacallit. It's like, I know what you're saying, but each gun has its own specific feel. It's weird.
Yeah, they all have their own kind of strengths and weaknesses, it sounds like.
Like, when I was up on the tower and I was hitting those guys at 500 meters out, where, like, because we're on the tower, like, it just echoes the entire area. You hear goo-goosh, and it's just, you're like, oh, that's such a good sound.
Yeah.
And some of the other sniper rifles, there's one that has the least amount of range, which I don't really know how far it's supposed to shoot before the bullets really starts falling. But that one, you put an assault scope on it, it is a bruiser. Like, it is, like, the closer you are, the harder it hits type of deal.
Nice.
But it's a riot. Now I'm leveling up the assault rifles, and I'm gonna do the carbines and the shotties, and
well, you have to.
Oh, it's weird, and like the thing that I discovered. Now I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Is the battlelog.net thing is fascinating to me. Like, not only you see all of your gun stats and stuff, but you can change your loadouts from that point, like right on, here's that's on the website.
Oh yeah, I've seen that site before. That's super cool.
All right, and then you can like click on one of the guns. Thanks, zoom in. But you can click on the gun itself, and it'll show you the little sprocket. That's it. You click on the sprocket, and then it'll show you your attachments that you've unlocked for that gun. Like it's. And right now, that one is redded out because of one of the attachments I already have installed.
Oh, wow.
Like something I literally just did.
Yeah.
So it's just been, I can only akin it to grinding in an RPG, is you're building stats this entire time.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of good because it's on top of this. It's really kind of the most positive carrot and stick because it's already on top of this thing that you already enjoy. The grind in an RPG is sometimes sort of like, well, I just have to do this to go do this other thing so I can have fun again. But for Battlefield 4, it's sort of like, well, I mean, it's icing on top of this cake.
Yeah. And the only thing that I find frustrating because you're playing on these bigger maps is getting killed by vehicles is rage-inducing.
Yeah.
I'll spend 2 or 3 minutes because I've been having a blast sniping lately. Like, I'll work my way up, I'll get into one spot, and all of a sudden helicopter will come on, boom, 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 kill me. I'm like, I hate you, little bird douche. Like, it just, this little Magnum PI helicopter, I hate it so much.
Can you? Are there playlists in game modes that don't have vehicles?
Yeah, but it's just the size of the conquest maps make that game fun.
Yeah,
because they're massive, and usually every one of them has like some dynamic feature that happens during the course of the battle. Like when you're playing the Parasail Islands, where like at one point there's like a battleship that's stuck on a wind turbine out in there. Once the hurricane whips up, and believe me, those things are whipping. The windmills are whipping real fast. All of a sudden, it breaks free of that, and it comes crashing into sea. And it is, like, the coolest thing. I've been killed by it 4 times. Where, like, I'm in a trench, I'm, like, popping out doing my gopher, and all of a sudden I get crushed by a battleship.
So it kind of sounds like that's the mode you really want to play anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one everyone's playing, too.
Yeah.
And then unlocking premium, I didn't know I had to install the maps. So
weird.
I did that. I think last week I was playing with either Pokey or Duncan the Great. We did the naval assault maps, which is amazing in itself because you have this huge map, and it's set up just like Conquest. Once you run out of tickets on the Conquest, then battleships.
Oh wow!
And try and blow one of them up. So it's cool watching everyone vacate the middle of the island and just try and either you're going to defend yours or you're going to attack theirs. And whichever way that falls depends on who wins. And it's really cool. Dudes screaming around the map on hovercrafts and stuff. It's ridiculous. The only thing that I believe that could make Battlefield better would be faction parity. Now I'm going to say because of MAG, is you would have some sort of loyalty to what class or what group of guys you're using.
Right.
And on top of that, actually have your orders mean something.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll send out orders all the time, and I'll be like, all right, we're gonna go to A, and then no one goes. It's just me holding the fort, just getting ripped apart. Like it's.
You know, I feel like MAG is one of those games that in a couple years, once people really start settling into this generation, I feel like that's one of those games where some developer is going to come up and be like, yeah, we just wanted to make this online experience, and we were really inspired by this game on the PS3 that, you know, our team loved but no one played, you know, MAG. And I think people, I never heard, okay, yeah, that game is, interesting. You know, and then someone will basically make this spiritual sequel to that game.
And I honestly think the guys at DICE could totally do it.
Oh, absolutely. It sounds like they're almost there anyway.
If they put that level of commitment into, they're close with the field general or their commanders. Because when a commander comes on Battlefield, the dude's name comes up in blue, like above your squad list, and like he'll summon in like UAVs, throw down EMPs or grid sweeps where it points out all the vehicles or points out all the guys on the map for a split second, and calls in cruise missiles. Like I think that stuff's real close to being to the general setup that that MAG ran.
Yeah.
I think they're probably one or two steps away from it, but if they could introduce that, I think that's a game changer, and that would set it so far apart from what Call of Duty's doing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that just turns Call of Duty into Team Deathmatch. That's it. That's all you got.
Team Deathmatch the game.
Now if they put Titans in it, then
now
you got
you're talking.
Then you got something that's crazy, and it's something I love.
Shareholders are happy.
All right, and then the other game I played this week was I played Through the Darkness 2 again and loved every minute of it a second time through. And I found every little item I could find, every collectible, just to hear this man's description of them.
Yeah,
very cool.
It was just purely just to hear the narration. So I blasted through that game again on New Game Plus, just completely eviscerating everybody around me.
Just drinking it in.
Oh, that game is good. That game is amazingly good.
Man.
I'm going to have to install that one.
Like, it's one of the ones you're like, I am really mad at myself for missing this when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is a solid shooter in an awesome world.
Man.
Nice.
And man, did it end well. I mean, after the credit things, after what happens, you kind of like, well, you feel kind of ripped at the start, and then you're like, that can't be it. And then all of a sudden it happens, you're like, yes.
That's the good stuff.
I love you, game.
Right.
Yeah, that game is awesome. So that's it for me.
All right, Hannah, what about you?
Oh man, I have a bit of a smorgasbord here. So I decided to play a little bit of Luminous and broke a million without a sweat. Unfortunately, I loaded it up, and for some reason, anytime this game updates or has to like reinstall on my Vita, I lose my save file. So I don't know what my actual real high score is anymore, which is really disappointing. And for some reason, auto-upload wasn't turned on. So I had to restore a version from like December.
Am I the only one that is auto-upload disabled by default for all games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have to enable it for every game individually, which is psychotic.
Yeah, it seems a little weird, but I kind of understand why, but it
Yeah.
seemed a little weird.
Yeah. It's especially weird if it should be enabled for Wi-Fi all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to not have it on Wi-Fi. And no one uses 3G, so whatever.
Yeah.
I played on Friday. We had a bunch of people over for my birthday, and I played a bunch of Soul Calibur 2, a bunch of Blaze Blue, and a bunch of Guilty Gear Double X Reload. And I don't remember a whole lot of it, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So, it's always good to play some fighting games and have a few drinks.
Yeah.
And so this brings me into the games I actually played a decent chunk of and remember. So I picked up Child of Light.
Oh, yeah.
And so for some reason I got it in my head that this game was like $39.99. I don't know where I got that price.
It sure
point
looks
from.
like it is.
Yeah, it looks like a $40 game.
Yeah.
I was actually going onto the PS Store to pre-order Transistor because that game is going to be sweet.
Oh yeah, that's out this week.
And it comes out on the 20th. So, and I'm just looking through and I see Child of Light $14.99. I'm like, ooh, let's throw that on the order. Yeah. So I think I only played probably about a half hour of this game.
I think I think I made it about 45 minutes when I played.
Yeah, I played like the very beginning, and I played it through remote play. And this has a very interesting feature with the remote play. It actually uses the touchscreen to great effect.
Oh.
So the little glow thing that
your
you get?
little follower dude.
So normally on the controller you have to hold, I think it's either L1 or L2, and use one of the thumbsticks to move him around.
Yeah.
And he kind of highlights paths, and you use it to solve puzzles.
And scares enemies in battle and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can just tap on the touchscreen, move him around, and then tap again to activate him.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big deal in that game.
That's sort of awesome. Like I said, I didn't play a whole lot of this, so I don't want to give like big overarching impressions, but I really like the combat system.
Yeah, it's surprisingly really good.
And it's really engaging because you have to be paying attention.
It reminds me a lot of Grandia.
Yes,
but
I've heard a ton of that.
A little bit more interactive, but
absolutely.
I think the battle system, for me, is kind of the strongest point of that game and kind of the primary highlight. And I think it's actually a really good. We talk about this a lot on PUP. Like if I want to start with RPGs, where do I start? And I've always suggested Costume Quest.
Yeah.
But I'd actually recommend Child of Light. I think from a battle system standpoint, that's a really good place to start.
Yeah, where at Costume Quest the battles just sort of happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a way
quite Mario RPG, but
it might as well be.
It's not as deep as that.
Yeah. But Child of Light this game is gorgeous. It's built on the UbiArt framework, which basically allows the artists to put whatever style and stuff they want in the game directly themselves without having to learn how to implement it. Like I want to see more. I don't know if Ubisoft licenses this or not.
They should.
They should.
Yeah, because this game looks like a watercolor painting in a way that I haven't seen since Saga Frontier 2 on the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's just this amazing, outstanding looking thing.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, imagine Okami without all the heavy black lines.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Nubs?
There was another game I was thinking of. What Bastion kind of looked like that too.
Yeah,
a little.
It's a lot more watercolor than Bastion. To me, seems more painted in a weird way. This is a lot more like the lines are nebulous. Yeah, they're kind of blurred.
And that brings me to my next point, which was exactly what I was going to say. Platforming is a little weird.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not fantastic. So there's a couple spots where I thought I was literally stuck, and I knew that couldn't possibly be the case, because that would just be silly. There's no way. I've been listening to tons of people talk wonderful things about this game, so I realized that I just had to get. There's this sloping thing that sort of looks like you can walk on it in the background, and you totally can.
Yeah.
You just have to jump on it at the right angle.
Did you beat the first boss battle?
No, I didn't get quite that far. I literally just played like a little bit to say that I played it.
So, minor spoiler here for you, Hannah. After the first boss battle, they just let you fly.
Oh,
they're just like, hey, look, this is not good. You're just gonna fly.
Oh, Oh,
and
good.
when I got that, I was like, oh, thank God. So the only main complaint I have for this game is the writing.
I actually really liked it. It's in verse. I love that. I love something like that.
I hate it so much. I don't like. I think the main narrator is sounds kind of bored. I don't.
Oh, see, I was playing it with the sound off. I was playing it on Vita.
Yeah,
so.
the main narrator is this woman who I think they were going for something kind of. The whole game seems very storybook. You're playing as this princess from some European country. I don't remember, in like 1895.
Yeah.
And you go to sleep and you pass away, and then when you wake up, you're in this fantasy world. And I get what they're trying to go for, and I think they were really close to succeeding with everything rhyming and everything being this prose. But I think the main problem for me is that, one, stop rhyming light with everything. That gets really old in the first hour. And the other thing too is I really wish they would have stuck with one type of poetic style.
Yes,
because I feel like it hurts the game that it keeps changing between styles, and that's what really makes me want to just skip it.
Yeah. I play a lot of times remote play, no sound, so I don't mind reading it, but I did notice that I was expecting a pattern to develop, and then they changed it, and I got a little angry. So if you're gonna have a style, maybe stick to it. I definitely agree with that.
I do have to say the music is really great. The sound effects are great. The battle theme is just catchy enough that you kind of look forward to it, but not catchy, not too catchy that it's like the Gold Saucer theme from Final Fantasy VII, where it's like, just get out of my brain. Oh God.
Yeah. Now it's stuck again. Thanks.
Hey, no problem. I'm kind of impressed by that game. It feels very much like an indie game that's coming out of a surprisingly sort of being birthed out of this large, huge developer, and it very much feels like, all right, here's $1 million. You got these 10 people over here. Go make a downloadable game with UbiArt and see how it does. It feels very much like they're taking a lot of chances on a game that almost couldn't be bigger than this, because I don't know if anyone could market a game like this, because it's a weird game. They're basically saying, hey, we're making a JRPG with a dead Prussian princess in 1895. Do you want to pay $60 for that? And people are like, no, I don't even know
Prussia?
what that means. Yeah, they're like, where is Prussia? I don't understand.
It's
so I think
Prussia.
$15 is kind of the $15 and downloadable on PC and consoles. I think is kind of the right chance that they should have taken.
And it's a solid looking game. It's a very cool combat system. Like I said, I didn't play a whole ton, but man, it is good.
Yeah, I'd be playing more if I had my consoles hooked up. I'll put it that way.
There you go. So I also played a ton of Resogun this week. That seems to have sort of replaced Lumines as my go-to. I just need something to play game. It's my general palate cleanser now.
Yeah.
I finally finished all the worlds on Rookie with the most balanced of the 3 ships.
Yeah.
The one that's just got 5 and everything. That last one is pretty tough, even on like the lowest difficulty. There's just tons of stuff happening. So the last level, if you haven't played Resogun, it is Defender, where you're sort of going side to side and up and down as a horizontal shooter.
Kind of still on a 2D plane.
Still on a 2D plane, but it's very clear that the whole level is a ring that you're going around.
Yeah, it's kind of wrap around in a circle, not like a flat thing.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Defender's the best closest I can get, to describing it. But there's about 4 different spots where in this final world where there are just these bubbles of something coming up out of them, and if you hit or shoot them, they just chain explode, and you can take out enemies with them. but more often than not, you just sort of hit one and die.
Yeah.
So that proved to be a bit of a
Or you
challenge.
throw a human in there by accident.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, that's the other main mechanic of Resogun is over time these I think they call them keepers. I can't quite understand what they're saying.
The robot lady voice.
Yeah. There's these enemies that will be glowing green. And you have to destroy all of these enemies that are glowing green, and this just thing shoots out. And there's these, I think it's a total of 10 on each world, little green humans inside of a cage. And when you defeat a set of these enemies, it releases one of them. You have to get to it, pick it up, and bring it to one of the two or four, I think there's 2, transport pads that are in the level at the very top. And one of the things you can do is literally just chuck them. You can just throw them.
Yeah, you just toss
hope
them
it
from
hits.
your ship.
Yeah. And I think there's trophies for saving all humans on every single level. I think I've gotten 2 of those so far, but it's pretty difficult to actually pull it off, where you save all of them. And once I got past like my obsession with, no, I have to save all of them, I got a lot better at the game.
Yeah.
Because not worrying about that makes it way easier to actually do it. The other great thing I love is I love the effect when you drop a bomb. It literally just goes all the way across and clears the screen all the way around.
Yeah.
It's such a pretty thing. It's just like, all right, it's empty.
Yeah.
The other fun thing is the overdrive effect. After you've killed enough enemies and sort of collected these little green shards, you can go into overdrive mode, and that will basically turn your ship into a flying death machine.
Yeah.
And you just kill anything that you get anywhere near. But I have played so much of this game. I actually even streamed. I think I was like 10 minutes. I played like one level. I streamed a little bit of it out to Twitch just to do it. But I think my next goal, I've been playing, I want to beat all of the levels with each ship on rookie difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I'm going to go up to experience, just once I figure out which ship I really like.
Yeah.
I'm really liking the... Oh, what is it? It's the first, not the first ship that you highlight, but like the one to the left, the Nemesis ship. It's the one that is high agility, low overdrive, and this thing is fast. But the weapon on it, once you upgrade the weapon a couple times, it actually has like homing missiles, which makes it way easier to. The worst thing in the world is if just one of those green enemies gets away from you and goes above like the plane where you can hit it.
Yeah.
If you're in this ship, you can actually do something about it, which is really nice. This game is if you have a PS4 and you somehow didn't get this game because you didn't have PS Plus or you didn't buy it, buy this game.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously fun. And it's just a twin stick shooter.
It's one of those simple arcade games that really made Xbox Live Arcade blow up once people figured out how to use it. It's just one of those. It's cheap. I think it's only $10 if you don't have PS Plus. If you have PS Plus, it's still free.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, I just want to play something for half an hour. Oh, I'll play a bunch of Resogun. All right.
Or 10 minutes. Literally.
Yeah.
It's PS Plus's Geometry Wars.
Totally.
Exactly. A friend of mine walked in while I was playing it, was just like, is this Geometry Wars? Did they redo it? I'm like, no. This is
they make a
Resogun,
new one of those?
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also played a bit more Ground Zeroes. I decided to stream the gameplay of this as well. I've decided that every video I stream on Twitch is going to be called "Watch Me Be Terrible at Game Name."
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at video games, and I'm gonna make no secrets of that. There's a reason I don't play multiplayer a lot of the time, because I'm really awful at it, and I just don't get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But this was different. I was surprised at how much I had fun with this particular mission. I did the Intel Operative Rescue mission, and it wasn't a sneaking mission in Metal Gear. And I don't think I could have been happier with that fact. Because literally... So this whole mission, you are hanging out the side of the helicopter, and you have unlimited ammo on your gun and unlimited ammo in your grenade launcher as long as you're in the helicopter.
Great.
and you are trying to sort of safeguard this intel operative
So
from
you're just
getting
there
killed.
to blow everything up.
Pretty much.
Awesome. I can get behind that.
Yeah, and this was probably the most fun I've had with this game so far.
Hmm.
It was just so you get in and you're flying low. You know, your aim's terrible because you're in a helicopter. It's gonna be, but you pick off a couple of guys, and then you see the operative manages to steal a truck, but then he gets cornered by like 4 or 5 soldiers, and now it's your job to blow up the truck and any dudes that are in his way, and you're just sort of hovering there. The only frustrating part I had was I think 3 or 4 times there was just a guy I couldn't see
Oh.
that had a rocket launcher, and it took time to load up, and I just couldn't find him, and he would just blow the intel operative sky high by the time I found him. So then I realized I have this mindset of night vision goggles in any game. If you put them on while the sun's out, you're just not going to be able to see anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. With, science.
That's not the case.
Oh.
They just work.
I forgot Metal Gear.
Yep.
I
Metal
thought
Gear.
maybe they're, infrared goggles too. It worked.
Magic.
Yeah. So I see the dude, he's glowing white, and I just line it up, take him out first, and then take everyone else out. I then went through a series of probably 3 or 4 retries because I kept blowing up the operative myself while he was driving. That fun thing of where you just misaim the grenade slightly and it just...
Hey man, collateral damage, it happens.
Or that fun thing of where, there was a red barrel over there I didn't see. My bad. So I would get rid of the truck that was threatening him and blow him up because the residual explosion fired off one of those barrels.
Collateral damage.
So eventually it gets to the point where he's at the landing pad, but he sort of gets injured. He's laying down by his truck, and you have to land and start taking dudes out and get to him and get him back to the helicopter. And I still thought I had unlimited ammo. I did not. So I have maybe 2 or 3 grenades left in my launcher, and I have to take out this just giant armored gunboat of a car. And it didn't go so well at all. Mostly because I had 3 grenades, and I think 4 or 5 regular grenades, and I think I finally managed to take it out by I think I got a grenade right under it, or I think I hid in a corner behind a building, and managed to just throw all the grenades at once right under it, which took it out. And then I had to work my way back to him and get him on the ship, and I'm not going to say exactly who it is, but it's a pretty interesting surprise who you actually rescued.
Oh, nice.
In the game. I was pretty happy with it.
Oh, I've seen that. That's a pretty good moment.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
You don't expect it. You don't really see it coming.
Yeah, but then it's sort of obvious. We're like, all right, yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So that was my my MGS5 this week. It was that game. I feel like that game gets unfairly, and a bunch of people I talked to this week were just like, I've been meaning to play that, and I don't know if I want to pay $30 for it. And I'm like, okay, let me break it down. I am 16% done with this, and I have played 3 or 4 missions a couple of times each.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a demo, and as a Metal Gear fan, I've accepted that, and I paid $30 for it, and I don't regret it one bit.
Yeah, it's really a problem of marketing. I think Konami could never get out front of that one piece of news from Game Informer, I think, where they said, "Hey, we beat the game in 60 minutes."
Yeah,
and everyone it caught. I mean, and Konami was just like, "Yeah, but that's only 2% of the game. There's all this other stuff," and people were like, "Yeah, but that's an hour. So what?" And it's like, well, no, you're not listening to what we're saying. That's an hour, but we have so much else, and everyone just hears the hour word.
Yeah, and each mission has 2 difficulty modes. There's tons of stuff to unlock. I mean,
they just patched in the exclusive DLC from the other platforms into everybody, so you get to play that crazy Xbox DLC on PS4 and vice versa. So there's just so much stuff there, and a lot of it is really goofy. They're at the end of the platform exclusive stuff. There's a quiz show that's narrated by one of the villains. And,
awesome.
And it's just like the normal difficulty is pretty easy stuff. Like, hey, which animal does Vulcan Raven really like? Raven, yay! But the top end ones for the tougher difficulty are just, there's stuff that nobody knows. Like, it's just like, it's crazy stuff that they've managed to continually put in that game, and a lot of it sure is fan service, but a lot of it is still just that solid gameplay that they've managed to iterate on from MGS4 and Peace Walker, and just make a game that doesn't have the Soliton radar anymore, but is still fun enough to play, unlike the original version of MGS3, where you're like, well, great, this is unplayable. So they've managed to kind of fix all of those issues and make it into a game that's not Metal Gear, but also not really the Splinter Cell games. It's kind of this collection of the greatest bits of all of that stuff, and it kind of turns out to be kind of a unique but really interesting game. And yeah, the main story is an hour, and it's $30. Sorry, it's really good.
The main story is 2 hours if you play it on both difficulties.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other big thing, is I don't think people were expecting... because Metal Gear Solid games generally aren't like the type where, unless you're a hardcore fan, you don't replay it.
Yeah.
And I don't think people were expecting this to be sold on its replayability.
Yeah, I think that's been the major problem, is everyone expects the story, but that's...
Yeah.
All it is basically an hour-long bridge between Peace Walker and MGS5, The Phantom Pain.
Yep.
That's it. The rest of it is just this, 15 inches thick worth of icing, your favorite icing, and just you get to do crazy stuff on, admittedly, a pretty small map. But they cut and slice that map a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And is that still going to be unacceptable for a lot of people? Yeah, and that's okay.
Yep.
Watch it on Twitch. Watch it on YouTube. That's fine too. But if you really love how the Metal Gear games play, it's a great time.
It is. The last game I've been playing this week is a ton of Infamous Second Son.
I really want to keep playing that. I don't have any of my consoles hooked up right now, and it's killing me.
It's so good, you guys. I know you guys know, but it's so good.
Yeah.
It is. It justifies my purchase of a PS4 at this point.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have said, "Oh yeah, it's kind of a shorter game." I don't know how people are. Maybe I'm just old. Like, people are saying they're beating this in like 4 or 6 hours.
I don't. What?
I don't believe that whatsoever. Unless you're blasting through it and not clearing. And how could you not clear every section?
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Like, if you're just doing Critical Path in that game, I feel like you're missing. It'd be like just doing the Critical Path in Saints Row 4, and it's like, well, you're missing all the game.
Yeah,
like, that's not the good stuff.
And I don't know how you would Critical Path this, because if you go to try and Critical Path this, a lot of times you're going to get hung up in a fight that you don't need to be involved in.
It's going to be too hard.
Yeah, all right, so my favorite thing about this game is roaming around Seattle and just taking out DUP agents.
Yep.
Because my favorite thing is if you'll go down an alley and there'll be one patrolling and he doesn't see you, you can just subdue him without even any problem whatsoever.
That sneaking up and subduing the move is so satisfying, and it's something they were really missing from the previous 2 Infamous games, because you would try to sneak up on somebody, but you didn't really have an attack to take them down except for a combo of a couple punches, or you'd get close to them and then they would notice you just because you're close enough to them, and there'd be like 12 other dudes on top of you.
Yeah.
You're in my personal space, man.
Yeah, I don't like it, man.
Yep.
You're encroaching on my bubbles.
So I got to the point where I got the second set of powers you get in the game, which is Neon. I think we've talked about this before on the show.
And it throws you into nighttime.
Yeah, because it has to. How could you? How could you not?
It was just they changed time of day into nighttime, and you're like, okay, yep, all right, this is the good stuff.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
So I think my favorite move for the Neon so far, for like two reasons, is the Radiant Sweep, the Karma Bomb.
That
that you
one.
get.
That's why I keep Neon around.
Yes. So about probably like the very beginning of the game, you get all these powers with smoke and stuff, and you get one. It's the Karma Bomb,
Yeah.
and once you earn enough, it depends on what your level is for whichever. If you're going bad, I think you have to earn bad karma.
Yeah, I think it's whatever karma you're going.
Okay, whatever karma you're going after, once you earn enough of it, you get this ridiculous, just all powerful move, and like it's like a one hit kill.
It's really a smart bomb.
AOE.
Yeah, it's really just like it's the POW block. Hey, the whole screen's clear now.
Yes. However, it's difficult to pull it off with the smoke powers because really the only way you can get good karma efficiently is to hit headshots after you've gotten the non-lethal headshots unlock.
Yeah.
And sneak up behind you guys and subdue them. Like it's hard
Or
to
like
subdue
healing
these
people that are
guys.
laying on the ground. It's not
those are
as
so
easy
few and
as
far
the neon one.
Yeah, but when you get the neon one, you get this power that allows you to zoom in and view the weak points on a character
And slow down time.
Yes, well, I think that's an unlock one.
Yeah.
So you zoom in and you see these guys, and their heads are glowing like pinkish, reddish.
Yeah.
And if you hit them there, they just vaporize.
Yeah.
But if you look at I think it's usually the right leg.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit them in the right leg between like the knee and the ankle,
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Yeah, it sounds weird when they explain it. They're like, yeah, either shoot him in the head for bad karma, or shoot him in the leg for good karma. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
But it's so once you get that down and you train yourself to go for the leg,
Yeah.
you can earn good karma so quickly.
Yep.
And then you can just use your karma bomb, and the neon one is non-lethal.
Right.
So you drop this thing. I had this mission where I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna beat these guys, and I was like, wait a minute, I can just karma bomb it. Okay, hold on, let me run around a little bit, do some dodging, hit him in the knee. All right, I got enough. Just run into the fray, hold down the down on the D-pad, and just game over.
You know, the thing that has made me move through the game so fast is something similar where, so for every area, they have this one central point where it's this like DUP monitoring van or something, and there's always a ton of enemies around it. So whenever I go into it, and once you clear out that van, you see all the stuff on the map, you see all the shards, and it kind of it's like the tower climbing in Assassin's Creed, where you go synchronize, and then it kind of shows you everything. You have to go to this area and just destroy this thing, and then you unlock the whole area, basically. So at some point, I figured, okay, well, I can go gather all this good karma, hop on this van, and do this karma bomb thing, blow out this whole area, destroy this van, and then as I'm doing all the other missions to get down to whatever it is, like 20%, where you can go spray paint this DUP billboard in the area to kind of capture the area.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I have to say because you don't just spray paint the billboard, you call the hotline number on the billboard, and those conversations are phenomenal.
Yeah, he's continually making up characters to mess with them.
Yeah.
But once I spray paint that billboard, it sort of turns you around and says, well, the cavalry is coming to stop you. Even standing on the billboard, you just pop that thing and everybody's dead. Until you start dealing with helicopters, and they take a little bit more.
They take a little bit more, and then I noticed a couple of the areas that they actually get a little smarter, and they don't all congregate just underneath you.
Yeah. But thankfully, the problem I've always had with the Infamous games, and unfortunately this one has the same problem, is I feel like the main character is a little too...
I'm sorry, the bird.
This bird loves to be on the show, man. It's so hot in here, I have to leave this window open. He loves Infamous, too.
Live from the Atrium.
Yeah. Your character always feels a little bit too fragile, and there are always like one too many enemies. Where like you get down and you're flashing gray, and you're about to finish everybody off, and then there's a dude behind you. It's, hey, what are you guys doing over here? Blat, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, I just
wrecks you.
And this kind of fixed that problem for me, where it's like, well, I've done all this good stuff, so I'm just going to obliterate everybody within a 2-mile radius. Yay!
Yeah. That was sort of my what you just described was sort of my issue with the game at the beginning when I started playing it. All I had was smoke and like the basic powers.
Yeah.
I wanted to immediately just jump into everything before I had all the powers.
Because you have superpowers.
Yeah, of course. I can handle anything.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, these guys have superpowers, too. Yeah. But, yeah.
What are you doing? I'm not Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game deserves all the praise it's been getting. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has its issues. The only real issue I have with it is the fact that karma is not the fact that it's tied to like what powers you can get, but it's tied at like you have to earn so much karma to get those powers.
Yeah.
It's like a level thing. It's like they're treating like the decisions as currency.
And like it's an experience bar almost.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
That's always been a weird part of Infamous, where it's sort of like, well, you've done enough good stuff, so now you can get this second tier, and it's like, okay, but I have all the shards, but okay, I'll play along.
Yep, it's that's really the only problem I have with it. Other than that, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's one of the best games I've played remotely. I have the occasional issue where I have my Vita right here because I always do.
Really?
So if you look here, the way they remap this game is they put L2 or L1 and R1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
On the
L1 and R1
on the bottom two corners of the touchscreen.
The problem with that is, look at where the sticks are. Oh no, I touched it. Oh no, I killed everybody. Dead. Yeah, so that's
shot that orphaned puppy.
Other than that, it controls wonderfully. I'm glad they didn't put those on the back touchpad because that can get real tedious. It's like, I hit it. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. All right, fine.
Yeah.
But just... I can't get over how pretty this game is, and I'm so glad they put in that photography mode.
Yeah.
And I really can't wait to play with it.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, and that's all I'm sharing for the week.
The only game I've had time to play this past week, and mostly playing it on my work laptop on the couch while I'm watching the news talk about fires, is Diablo 3. Knobs is so excited over there. So it's Diablo 3's second anniversary. So the chances of legendary drops is plus 100%.
So that's a good stat boost.
Yeah, it's not as... The math of it does not mean you're guaranteed a legendary drop all the time. It's
just 100% better than it was before.
Not even. Let's say that to make it sound good. It's not that.
So 100% is a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, 100% is a lot less than 100. Basically, what it means is when a legendary drops, it's good. The chances of it being really good is very high.
Nice.
And the chances of something being legendary when it drops is higher. So it's a little confusing. But basically, a lot of us from work are in this clan or guild together, whatever they call it. And we've just been farming this game dry over these last couple days. And I'm on vacation until Thursday. And when we are not moving stuff and setting up the house, I'm going to be farming this game dry. Because my character is not nearly as good as everybody else at work. And that hurts me inside. I do not like being the guy who is sort of like, oh, you're still wearing that? Okay. And I'm sort of like, wait, it looks cool.
Guild turned into high school.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Diablo 3 has turned
those
into...
jeans. Hey, where's the flood, Gilgamore?
Yeah, have you seen what he's wearing? Yeah. That bow? Sheesh. So, it's still, and the thing is, I really wish I would have gotten into a guild in Diablo 3 earlier, because when you're in a guild, you see everybody else's legendary drops. and it'll just say like, "Oh, this dude picked up this thing," and it's just like, man, he just invited me to a party, and I said I couldn't, and he just picked up like 4 things. Oh, come on! I just want to. I want all that stuff, man. So there's a little bit of kind of loot envy going on there, but kind of the fun way. P-Flux in chat says, well, 100% of 2% is 4%. So there you go. Now you understand Diablo 3. Congratulations. But that's all I've been playing.
That's like Symphony of the Night, increase your luck stats right there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, it's gone up by 200%. Now it's 3. It's
yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Thanks. I also did get the collector's edition of Drakengard 3, which comes out this week, which I have here in my hands. Whoa, it's heavy. And it's backwards. And I haven't played that yet because I don't know where my PS3 is going to go in the house. I think it might go in the office, and it has been relegated to point B in the house of where consoles go. So I'm hoping to start that up because it's made by the same team who made Nier for the PS3 and 360, but it has dragons in it. So it sounds like, if Nier is any indication, it sounds like a really melancholy dragon game, which I would like to play. That sounds really good. Interesting. But that's all I've been playing for this week, so let's take a break.
Cool.
Break.
Go grab some water.
All right.
I'll
be here with the birds.
Wah.
So I bought this collector's edition because I'm crazy and I collect games. And I found out that just yesterday they only made 5,000 of these.
Oh, those are the best collector's editions.
It comes with a novel in it.
Oh.
How can you say no?
You can't.
I can't.
I did some heavy lifting on whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, by the way, speaking of large graphic novels, apparently the guy who made Blankets just put out a hardcover version that has additional stuff in the back end of it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's only like $13 on Amazon.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I would like to support that guy for making Blankets. So I will.
I hope it does the Animal House ending. Like, where are they now in like 10 years?
Yeah, exactly. I think it has been 10 years since its publication. 15.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close to that, isn't it?
Yeah. God, I wish I had it here so I could reread it again.
I will be coming there soon. I have to stop buying stuff more than once.
Probably a good call.
Like, I'm looking right here. Like, I have Berserk 36, Gantz 24, and Gantz 23. I already own those.
Here's what you really need. If someone can make this a reality, I think it would save you a lot of money. You need this overarching collection software where you can take your phone and just scan it all in. I know there's a bunch of stuff that, like I use Game Collector for mine, and you can scan it in with your phone. Doesn't really work. You need something that collects every piece of media that's in your house, and you need to be able to go to something in a store and not price match it. You need to be able to scan that thing with your phone and say, do I own this already?
Yep.
And it will say, you do, don't buy it.
I need an intern.
Yeah, you need whatever the media version of like a stylist is. Where they'll be like, no, I've been in the archives. You already have 3 copies of Saints Row the Third. Don't buy another one.
Stop it. I need someone there to, like, I go to reach, pick something up, because they know if I pick it up, I'm going to buy it. They're like, stop.
Yeah, they just have a baton, like, whoosh.
Stop.
Stop it.
Stop it. Or someone following me with the squirt gun, like, stop it. But I have money!
Or, they could say, like, no, you should go buy this. Remember you wanted that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I almost had an impulse buy on Thursday. I had to have Donnie talk me off a ledge.
Oh, boy.
So, all right, so with my job, I get paid in cash, like, for working in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's like play money, because it never goes in the bank.
Free money, man.
It never goes in the bank.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here with a significant amount, sitting in a coffee can like a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I counted it all up the other day, and I'm like, and so I walk into Best Buy, and they're like, "Hey, manager special, it's the TV." I'm like,
"Oh no,
what is it?" So I look at it, I'm like, it's a Samsung, it's a smart TV, and it's 75 inches. And I want it.
I would have bought it. I'm weak.
At the price, I'm sitting there like $2,400.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good price.
So I'm sitting here and I'm like,
I shouldn't buy it, but I need it. I have to have it.
If I could have picked it up and carried it under my arm, I would have bought it.
It's like a Steam sale where it's like I don't need every id game. But why wouldn't I spend $10 to get 40 games?
So I call up Donnie. I'm like, "Hey, you need to talk me off the ledge right now. I was about to buy something stupid." And he's like,
I like
what
that
are
you're
you
cognizant that you shouldn't buy it, but you can't stop yourself.
I was inches. Like I was this close.
If someone had come over and asked you, "Hey, can I help you?" You said, "Yes, help me put this in my car."
Pack it up. What is that? Just throw it in the bag.
Yeah.
Whatever. But no, it would have been, "Would you like a Best Buy credit card?" Why, yes, I would.
As a matter of fact.
But no, it's I was gonna call him up and like, "Hey, I'm about to do something dumb." He's like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy a TV." He's like, "Really? Why? You don't need a TV." I was like, "I'm well aware of that."
You bring up a good point, but shut up.
I'm well aware of that, but this is a 75-inch flat panel LED screen, blah 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 blah. And he's like, "Wow, that's a big TV." And he's like,
"That's all you have to say."
But you already have a 73-inch and the projection screen downstairs.
Don't be talking stupid.
And I was like, "Yeah, but this is new."
Yeah, but it's a smart TV, and it's cheap.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there like, "Okay, all right, plan B. I'm gonna go get a tattoo."
Sure. Next best thing.
He's like, "But what are you gonna get?" I don't know.
Does that matter?
Tattoo parlor with a plan.
God, Dr. Questions over there. Jeez.
So, needless to say, I've got nothing, and I still have a tin of quiche.
But you're waiting for that thing.
It's driving. It might as well be burning my house down.
Buy a PS4.
Buy a PS4, man. Do it. Do it.
See?
After the show.
Suggestions.
Go out and do it.
No.
And get Infamous.
Yeah, buy a PS4 and buy Infamous.
Just do it, man.
Shit, that's a good suggestion. I'm getting hot over here.
I don't have the itch to get it yet. I don't understand it.
We'll work on you.
We'll get you.
You already have the Vita. You're halfway there.
You know what's funny is
Yeah,
I had more. I should probably just do PS Plus. I had a better opportunity to buy a $2,400 item than I did buying a PS4.
We'll get you.
That math went better in my head. I don't know why.
P-Flex in chat says, "Get a tattoo of a 73-inch TV."
But I already own a 73-inch. This would have been a 75.
Oh God.
So then I follow that rabbit hole down. It's like, so I buy this TV. I was like, all right, well, I need a new entertainment stand. So then I get on IKEA and I start looking at stuff. I'm like, ooh, this could work. You know. Okay.
This look into your mind is fascinating. I like that you hesitate over a PS4, something you know you would enjoy and use, but not a $2,500 TV. But you know what's sick?
That you neither want nor need.
Yeah, but you know what? I get it. They do something to the TVs in a Best Buy where you're just like, I have to have all of these, except for these tiny ones. I have to have all of these.
Yeah. So then the new Crutchfield magazine. So then the new Crutchfield magazine comes to my house, which is the worst thing in the world because I love buying dumb stuff. And then they're like, "Oh well, hey, Sharp just came out with a new Q Plus TV."
Oh.
And they're making TVs like 80, 90 inches. I'm like, I need that.
I've seen the future.
But now they're doing a part where they split the pixel itself into these smart cube pixels that make it look almost 4K, but not 4K.
No, I can't. I can't. My brain cannot keep that in there. I will go buy one.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like I was just like, oh, car stuff. Ooh, yeah, I could use a subwoofer.
Why not?
So car stuff. TVs? When did they do this?
You monsters.
But no, and then like the next page, TV receiver. I was like, I need a new one.
As a matter of fact, I need one.
Like
Good
it's
job, magazine.
oh man, you know what? They're messing up by getting away from print ads because I can easily delete whatever they are, emails.
Yeah.
I can easily delete those, but you put something physical in my hands, I will sit there and stare at it and read it a dozen times.
Yeah. Just drooling on it.
All right.
So I almost had a new member of the family.
All right. Let's get into this next segment here.
Cool.
Loading. Oh man, Indians got stomped. Oh, the A's.
I like that I moved from one city that has a bad baseball team to another city that has a bad baseball team.
At least the football team.
Chicago says hello
every other year.
Yeah.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
at least our
Need
football
to
team gets
stop.
there sometimes.
Don't none of this Chicago stuff with a Cleveland.
With your
boys.
hot dogs in your business.
Your pickles and Italian beef.
Your delicious foods and your good weather in
Heart
the spring.
attacks.
And your amazing city, you jerk.
It's so walkable.
Yeah, shut up.
Check out that transistor poster I just put in a Skype chat.
Skype chat.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. Stupid jerks making nice stuff that I want to buy.
Right?
Oh, dude, dude, I've been on that DeviantArt rabbit hole for I don't know how long.
10 years.
Dude,
Yeah.
some of these sweatshirts, like the mock sweatshirts they're doing, like I'd be like, give me all your. I will take everything I own. I want that sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some dude made a $20.99 Spider-Man shirt. That I was like, oh, I didn't need. Oh, like
It was a horror film. I do things
the way
alone
you-
now, mostly.
the way you were bagging cans got me bothered and hot. It's not my fault. You asked cash or credit.
Uh,
All right,
all right.
you guys
let's do
ready
this.
now?
I'm
Yes. I'm ready.
All right, coming back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of May 19th, 2014. Wolfenstein, The New Order for PC, XBO, 360, PS3, and a PS4.
ready. Please be good. Please be good
Please.
again. The last
I
one
have-
was great.
I
Please be
have
good.
I have heard it is very underwhelming.
Oh, you know what? That might mean it's okay because people don't like Wolfenstein games since 3D.
Yeah.
Spear Destiny. My apologies.
I'm going to buy it sight unseen because that's what I do,
It looks super good.
and I might come home with a new TV to play it on.
Even better. And a
Don't do
PS4.
that.
Cough,
And a
cough.
PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know if I can swing that extra $5.
I hate
I don't
you.
know. Alrighty, Transistor for PC and PS4.
Just in my
So
veins.
excited about this game.
I
Just
need
give me it. I need it.
I gotta have it.
Yup.
Give me.
Darksiders Collection for the 360, PS3, and PC.
This is Darksiders 1, Darksiders 2, and the Darksiders 2 Season Pass. So you get both really great games for one really great price.
Yeah.
The game is really good. Both
Do
of
it
them
up.
are really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And hopefully this sells well. We get the third one.
Did you see Joe Mad this last week was like, yeah, Darksiders 3 is totally coming. Yeah, I've done a little bit of work on it. It's like, I don't
Yep.
think you make that call. I appreciate your energy, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're the dude that finishes that game. But he at least said the company who bought the license is interested in continuing the
Yes.
series, which
Yeah.
at this point, I'll take interest. I don't even care.
For sure.
Drag me along. I will chase that carrot.
Well, it's the same thing with the Hellboy 3. Like all the actors are like, oh yeah, we'd love to do another
I
one.
got nothing else to do.
Ron
Sure.
Perlman is Abe Sapien guy. What work is that lanky dude gonna get?
Yeah, put me in a bunch of
Come on.
makeup.
Come
I'll
on.
do it.
What? He's got a recurring part on The Strain. Anyway, Nothing came out in 2004.
All right, moving on to news stories, and don't forget, our opinions are respective of us and not our employers. So please don't sue us. Microsoft had this pre-E3 news dump this week. Is kind of the only thing that I can call it. The biggest news story, of course, was that the Xbox One will be released in July without the Kinect for $400, bringing it to price parity with the PS4. I think that's the wrong call. I'm the one person who out there is sort of saying like,
no, you're not. No, you're not. I agree. I think it is the wrong call. I think them not trying to improve the voice recognition and just, I think it's a bad move.
I think Microsoft needs to stop being the company that says that this thing is mandatory to your experience until it's not.
Yeah.
You know, the Kinect is the lifeblood of the Xbox One. Oh, LOL, just kidding.
Yeah.
It's not. Like, I get that they want to come down to $400 to price match the PS4. I
It's
get
not
that.
going to help as much as they think it is.
You know what I think is, to me, is concerning? I think there's two secret stories in these three news stories that we have here. I think the secret story is that's telling me that Titanfall sold really poorly on Xbox One.
Yes.
Because if it sold really well, they would just be like, who cares, guys? We got Titanfall. You know, I think when you look at the Xbox 360 and you look at when the first Gears of War game came out, that was a system seller. Like, everybody looked at that game and they're like, man, I gotta get a 360. Have you seen this Gears game? I gotta get this thing. Like, I gotta run out and get this. But
I mean, I said that about Gears, and I couldn't.
And I think when you look at the reception for the Xbox One and you look at, I'm assuming that Titanfall sold really poorly, because otherwise they'd say, hey guys, we got Titanfall. Yeah, you got to spend $500 for it, but who cares? We're selling millions of these things.
I think it sold good. I just don't think it pulled Call of Duty numbers.
No. And I don't think it pulled Call of Duty numbers on any platform.
No.
I don't think it sold as well as they were hoping, which is I think a lot of people want to say it's doom and gloom. It's probably okay. It's the start of a new franchise. Titanfall 2 will come out. It will come out on PS4 already, as they've said. And it'll do even better. And the next one will do even better than that. You know, they're waiting for that firestorm that was Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Just call it Titanfall Modern Warfare.
Ooh.
Titanfall Advanced.
Yeah. So I think I'm really curious to see. I think the Xbox division's new leadership is really making some bold calls here, and we'll talk about the other one here in a second. I'm really curious to see how this impacts Microsoft at E3. This feels like an E3 announcement, but
it does.
I think Microsoft made the smart choice by announcing it early so that E3 wasn't the price drop.
Yeah.
E3 can now be, look at all of these games we have, and don't forget it's $400.
Yeah, but I have a point to make, but we'll after the rest of the stuff that got announced.
Their secret largest news story here: Xbox Live is no longer required to pay for streaming media services like Netflix, Hulu, use Skype or IE. I think people are really dancing in the streets for this one, which I agree is a very smart decision.
Yeah.
I think where Microsoft can position themselves really intelligently is the device that beats the Amazon TV. They have more streaming services on the 360 than the Amazon TV does, and it plays this back catalog of hundreds of games for like $200. Yeah. And you can watch all your stuff. It's got this cool media remote, and it's got all this stuff. And now you don't have to pay anything to watch the stuff that you pay for. I feel like if Microsoft can market that to the people shopping at Walmart, or the people that would get a Roku, or people that would get an Apple TV or an Amazon TV, if you can say Amazon TV can't play games worth crap, But ours can. Look at all this, then just this avalanche of AAA games where they're just making it rain with Gears games, you know? And then they're saying, this is the best place to watch Netflix and Hulu and HBO Go and Epix and all this. The laundry list never stops. I feel like they could recoup some of the problems they've had with a slow start with the Xbox One by boosting the price and the capabilities of a 360 and be really win with that again with the 360.
Absolutely. And then you sell more gold subscription because you get someone who finds a game and they're like, well, I want to play this online. This looks really cool. Yeah. Oh, well, hey, just pay.
Just buy that gold.
Just pay what, $10 a month it is, I think, for a monthly.
I think $60 a year, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
but like they want to sell those monthly subscriptions.
Oh,
and that's the demographic to sell.
Especially since they don't have that subscription 360 around anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then
real quick, TVGP PSA about this for people like me who are interested in. Microsoft are offering partial refunds for people that upgraded their gold just for this.
Yeah, I was going to report on that, but so keep an eye on it. So they're coming out with a June software update for the Xbox One that changes the OS a little bit to be more friendly for controllers, which finally. But also at the same time, if you're someone that only bought Xbox Live for streaming media services or Xbox Gold, and you cancel it because of this announcement, you'll be able to go through some sort of refund process. I forgot to put it in here because it's really confusing. So hopefully by the time that June comes around, they have cleaned up what you're supposed to do and how you get your money back if you can go. It will take 6 to 8 weeks, they say, so it's going to take a while, but I mean, if that's what you went through to watch your streaming stuff, go get your money.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it.
Yep.
Coupling with that, games with gold are coming to Xbox One this June alongside this whole change that they're doing. The first two titles are Max: The Curse of Brotherhood, which is really good. That's cool. That's a good first one to have. And Halo Spartan Assault, which I heard is not really that great, but it's free. So.
And it says Halo on it, so...
Yeah, that was a Windows 8 tablet game that came to Xbox One that was not that good. So.
Sounds like an interesting port process.
Yeah, I'm sure that was fun to do.
Runs through smart glass only.
Good luck. Yeah.
Oh.
And on episode 343, someone asked us to talk about 343 Studios, so... Just in time, Halo 5 was announced. Titled Halo 5
Guardians. It's almost Kinsman.
Yeah, Halo 5 Guardians. That's all we know. No details announced, no release date. It's on Xbox One, but the other rumor surrounding it was that there's a Master Chief collection coming to Xbox One with Halo 1 through 4 kind of HDified and up-resed. Maybe sort of missing the point, but sure.
Yeah.
You know what? If it has Halo 1 just up-resed with the local multiplayer intact, I will buy that day one.
That's true. Yeah, a bunch of people would buy that.
Great. Another cat helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
This time it's a dog helmet. And the last news story here is one that I'm super excited about. Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Collection finally gets a release date. August 19th of 2014.
Hooray.
Comes out on PS3, PS4, 360, and Xbox One. Contains Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, all of the patches, and a whole bunch of really cool social stuff that they're adding for this version. Like, hey, you can mail legendary equipment to your friends without them having to be part of your party. You can apprentice people that are starting at level 1 and you're 70 to try and get them to level 70 faster. It is.
They mean power leveling a mechanic?
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
It's brilliant. No one thought of that before.
It is $60 on current gen, if PS4 and Xbox One. Only $40 on past gen. So PS3 and 360, they're bringing the price down. So
yeah. So regarding all these Microsoft announcements, I have to say this because it feels like I don't know what they're trying to do, but like E3 is like 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Halo 5 feels like that should be your closer for your press conference. Uh, the announcements feel premature,
I
and
think
they better have something awesome in store for E3. That's the only thing I can think of.
Halo 5 will be there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think for me, I've been thinking about that the last couple of days because it seems like this last week everyone has just vomited all of this E3 stuff, and it all typically feels like you're right. Halo 5 would be the teaser trailer at the very end of their press conference where it's the stuff we've seen, the stuff we saw last year where it's like Master Chief wearing some dumb scarf in a stupid desert. Super excited for this game, guys. But I think for me, I think the only thing that I can see, because Sony's been doing a bunch of that stuff too, and I think to me, it seems like the conversation that's going to happen is more like Sunset Overdrive is another one. You would expect that 4-minute trailer to come out of E3, but to me it seems more like these games are all known quantities. They were announced at the last E3 alongside these new consoles. And I think they're trying to get these trailers out of the way now to make room for deeper coverage at the show from media sources.
Okay.
And I think to me it seems like, all right, everybody's seen the 4-minute Sunset Overdrive trailer. We all know what this is. Let's go the next level and show factions in the game. And we'll focus on, here's 3 trailers, 1 for each faction. And for Halo 5, here's a trailer for what Master Chief and Cortana are doing, and then a hint about the season we're going to put the game out in. And it just kind of, it almost feels like a ramp up to E3 where they're going to talk about some of these known quantities and then talk about the games that are coming out in 2015. Because I think the number of games that are going to come out holiday season 2014 is going to be very low. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be Sunset Overdrive, and I think it's going to be whatever Quantic Dream is making, and I think it's going to be some of these games that were heavily promoted last E3, but I don't think they're the big games. I think they're going to come out. I think Microsoft's going to come out and show a Gears game and start teasing that to announce fully next E3. I think it's almost this 2 E3 cycle where they're not announcing stuff that comes out later this year. I think they're announcing stuff that comes out later next year. So
fair enough. You've got me convinced. I was really concerned. I'm like, are we going to get anything in E3?
You know what? I think the answer to that is no. I think they're going to talk a ton about 2015 games, and I think they're going to give status updates for a lot of stuff from last year, but I think that's what we get at the beginning of a console cycle. And I think they say, here's enough to string you along until 2015. March 2015 is probably going to be really great. But December 2014 is probably not going to be. And I think when you look at Sony, I think they're going to push indies really hard to say, look at all these hot indies we have for the rest of the year. And then 2015, big tentpole games. And I think Microsoft is really looking to reel the Xbox division back in to say, all right, look, this dude is in charge of it. He loves games. Games. Yay, games. And games is, that's just all. There's the big word in the back of the studio that just says games, and it's on fire. They're trying to remind us that, hey, TV didn't work out. We're still making that for Halo. Yay, Steven Spielberg.
I'm just picturing a sweaty Steve Ballmer running through Microsoft going, games.
I think it's going to be a lot like that because they're going to say, Steven Spielberg is going to have all of this stuff where he's making a Halo TV show, and it's going to tie into these Halo games, and hey, don't forget Destiny, yay! But I think when you're Microsoft, I think the message you come out with is, we're hurting, but we still love games like you do. So here's just this, we're going to make it rain with game trailers. And don't forget Destiny, that comes out on the Xbox One. I think that's what they start focusing on. And I think the two companies, I think Sony has a lot to prove in that they're not going to rest on their laurels. But I think Microsoft has to come out swinging after this price drop. And I'm really curious to see if Sony drops the PlayStation 4 price by $25.
Oh,
just
that'd be
to
a
poke the bear.
deep move.
Not $50
Oh.
because I don't think they can afford that. If they would just say like $375, see you next year.
Oh.
You know, like
That would be classic.
I think that would be.
awesome.
I don't know if they're that crappy anymore. They certainly don't need
I
to.
kind of hope they are.
Because they are so outselling the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of funny. It would just Los Angeles would explode.
Yeah.
There'd be no other way. Let's move on to tweets and emails here. We're in tweets here. We have Adderblack39 says E3 predictions, guys. We talked a little bit about that right now. Anything else you guys have for E3 that you're either hoping for or predicting to happen?
I think we're gonna see. So had Borderlands done well on the Vita, I was thinking we would see a lot more AAA game announcements at E3 for the Vita, which I don't necessarily agree is a good thing, but that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a couple of games sort of get dropped during the Sony press conference, but they're not going to focus on the AAA games for the Vita. They're going to focus on the Vita is a great add-on for the PS4.
Yep.
And they're going to focus on, oh my god, look at how many games the Vita has. Look at all these indie games. Look at all this crazy stuff you can do with it. You don't need AAA games for the Vita in this ecosystem.
I think you're right
really
on the
don't.
money there for it being an extension of the PlayStation Vita is an extension of your Sony experience. You know, like I think it's very much that, and I think you're right with them pushing the indies because not only are they so friendly to indies, but I think they're really going to push cross-buy and cross-save and cross-play between these two platforms because so many indie games are coming out where they're like, hey, we're also coming out on the PS4 and the Vita, and if you own it on something else already, you own it on everything. So like Fez did, where they're like, hey, if you already bought it on this other thing, you just have it. So go play it.
You're upping the value proposition for getting a PS4 and the Vita by putting a built-in library with cross-buy.
Do you think they'll announce a bundle for the like a real bundle for the US?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think after the Borderlands bundle, I've been hearing so much. Borderlands on Vita, I've heard that it was good, but not good enough.
Yeah, it's sort of good,
That's
but
the
not
consistent
great.
review.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't see people spending money making AAA games for this system anymore. And you know what? Good.
Yeah, that's okay, because usually that's not where the fun is. You know, someone comes out and they say, hey, I'm bringing Rogue Legend, or Rogue, what was that? Rogue Legend? Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy.
To the PS4, and I say, great, I'd love to play that again, and I'd love to pimp it out to everyone that hasn't.
Yeah. And just... I hear so many people that say things like, "Oh, I'd love to play Fallout 3 on the Vita," and just like, no, I want to just hit them with the Vita, and it's a weird thing I've noticed. I was listening to it was either Giant Bobcast or IGN's Podcast Beyond this week, and one of them was like, "Yeah, I'd love to play Fallout 3 on the Vita," and I'm just like, "Why?
No,
Why?
That's not. I mean, that's,
I get it.
That's not something you want to do."
Yeah, that system, like, picking which part you want to hit is great for a touchscreen, but other than that, what? And I've seen it multiple times. You go on Reddit, in the Vita subreddit, everyone's like, every 3 days someone posts, what games you want to see on the Vita? Fallout 3 is a consistent winner, and I don't understand that mindset.
Yeah, I don't think that's right for that platform at all.
I just want to hit people with my Vita and go, no, you're using it wrong.
Yeah, I think that's what... I almost feel like that's kind of the mentality that's gotten the Vita in a precarious position already. It's sort of like, let's put Borderlands 2 on it, and that sounds like a great plan until you realize that those are big games. This is not a big system. The system doesn't have a fraction of the RAM that the PS4 has.
Nope.
I don't know. That's weird.
That's all I got.
Knobs, what about you? Anything you can see coming up?
I think that's UK hit it right. There's more remastered and definitive versions is pretty much all we're going to get.
I think when you're a publisher and you can say, hey, Saints Row 3 and 4 are coming to PS4 and Xbox One for $40, and they look great now. And people go, okay, I kind of miss those. If Infamous 1 and 2 were to come out in a bundle for the PS4, up-resed, I would recommend people play it. Both of those are great games that if you were an Xbox 360, if you were on that side of the war and exclusively on that side, I would say, you know what? You missed out on 2 really good games. You should pick this bundle up. That's a good value.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of the thing is going to be like that. I think they're just getting out in front of stories right now, and
they're controlling the message.
I'm sure there's going to be some sort of surprises or whatnots, but
absolutely,
I would always like there to be.
I just really hope they overhaul that UI for the Xbox One.
They really need to.
Well, I mean, the voice commands work. I use them more than I ever thought I would. It's almost second nature now.
It's the only way I can find stuff.
Like, yeah, like it just, I don't know where the system's going to ask for it.
Yeah, I just say Xbox go
that
to Netflix,
actually worked,
and it digs it out of the abyss of the Xbox One.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think it just needs some refinement, and I just hope that's a main message they need to get across: is hey, this thing works, but
it just needs a little bit of love.
We'll see,
and that's okay if you want to. Like, I think they can position it the same way that they position the 360 by saying, "Look, we found a better way to do it. Here's a new dashboard. All this stuff is even easier." And then everyone will go, "Okay, yeah, I remember NXE, sure." So.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah. You know what I really miss on the Xbox One, and one of the reasons why I just don't really like using it, is I want to hit the guide button and I want that little window to pop up with all the stuff I need. Not all the stuff that I want. Just friends, achievements, the game, the eject button.
Yeah, imagine that little window. What they should have done is have that little window in there, but make it customizable. Like, have some
Even
defaults.
Better. You already got pins on the Xbox One. Man. I'm gonna go work at Microsoft. I'll be right back.
Yeah, my pin section is larger than any other portion.
Yeah.
So I just I need to find it. It's there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next question here on Twitter from the other Jay-Z. Obligatory Blizzard question. Any interest in Heroes of the Storm? Seems up my alley, but I'm hearing solo queuing is rough. I don't know why Knobs is laughing.
Oh, dude, the new Perfect Dark announcements for both gens. Come on, that was funny.
Oh, I didn't see that. So, are either of you interested in Heroes of the Storm? I'm not really.
What is it?
That's Blizzard's MOBA.
Oh, nope.
Blizzard.
Lost me at MOBA.
It's Blizzard Dota. Remember when they were fighting with Valve on who owns Dota?
Oh, yeah.
It's Blizzard Dota. You know, honestly, I love watching Dota 2. I love it. I hate playing that game. Nothing about it will ever really clicked with me.
Yeah, I don't care for the genre. I've never even honestly really played it. I've seen it played, and I just go, that's not for me.
Yeah, I'm the same boat. I just think I watch it, and I'm like, that's not my bag.
You know, I think the only thing that I hope that Blizzard does is the same thing that they're doing with Hearthstone, where they take in Magic the Gathering to Hearthstone, they've taken something that is massively complex and so deep, and they kind of pull the surface off of that and say, here's this game. You want to go deeper, you can go over to this other place, but let's get your feet wet with this. And with Dota 2, not only is the community so, let's be nice and say rough, but the game itself is so crazy that it's almost impossible to get into it. But you look at Heroes of the Storm and just say, all right, I have the gist of it. I've got the high points here, heroes and skills and buying stuff and secret shops, and then I don't know what Heroes of the Storm is, but even if it's that as just the primary experience, sure, that'll do well.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Next tweet from Gibbinator says, how many songs have you bought because they were in games or game trailers? OSTs don't count, just licensed music.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I can't think
of one
that I have,
for the Wicked song. Borderlands.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I did buy
Cage the
that one.
Elephant. That was a good find.
Yeah.
It's Skill Rex, but that was free for
Skrillex
Syndicate.
from Syndicate. Yeah.
Syndicate. They gave that away.
Not a lot, because a lot of the times you're either rolling your eyes at it, you're like, ugh, of course they picked this one, or you already have it, and you're like, yeah, I love that song. They found that.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone went and dug up Mad World. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I bought Mad World. That's a great song.
That
It's a
is
great
a great
album,
song.
actually.
It is. They're like, what, Daddy Darko? What?
What are you doing
Yeah, I
here?
remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where's the rabbit?
Abbott and Paladin writes in, what game do you think makes the best argument for games as art? I almost don't care anymore.
I really don't. Rez, Child of Eden, Child of Light, even at this point.
Journey, I'll throw that out there.
Yeah. Ico.
I'm kind
any
of
of the Team Ico games.
I'm kind of
Battlefield 4.
Yeah, like
The Art of War.
I think this is a really good question, and I like talking about it every once in a while. I'm really tired right now, so I'm kind of tired about talking about it lately because I feel like it doesn't matter. Like to some people it matters, and I completely respect that, but I just don't care anymore. We don't have to fight for it.
Yes, I think that's what I want to say is that I think there's no argument anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't think there is.
Yeah.
I think if especially as the generation change happens, and the baby boomer generation retires in droves,
Yeah.
you'll see a lot more respect for games in general.
Yeah. Go play Journey. That game's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I don't know, man. These people create worlds, so if that's not art, I don't know what is.
Yeah, isn't that impressive enough?
Yeah.
This thing exists within itself. Whoa.
Oh.
It speaks to me. Come on, Cameron. Don't stare at one person. Sorry.
Dimebag315 asks in chat, how well do you, Hannah, think Watch Dogs will look like Chicago?
So actually, the Chicago Tribune did a pretty good article about it, and they noted that there were some dissimilarities. For someone who doesn't live directly in the city, I live in the way south suburbs. Like, I call myself a Chicagoan when I'm outside of Illinois, because if I did so while inside the Chicagoland area, I would get punched.
Yeah.
It's just sort of easier for people. Oh, I'm from
Around
Alton.
Chicago.
No one knows where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am from Chicago. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm from Chicagoland," which technically is the area that encompasses most of Cook County, which is Chicago's county, all the way south to Joliet, which is fair.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be associated with Joliet. No offense to people from Joliet. I'm sure you're wonderful. Every time I have to pass through your town, something terrible happens to me there.
It's not meant to be.
It's not great.
Well, it's
not a fan.
It's a lot like Knobs and I. We both grew up outside of Cleveland, but I can't say when everyone's like, "Oh, where'd you grow up?" Cleveland.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to say Ohio. They're like, "Oh, okay, that place I'll never go." Sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Cleve.
You're up by
So
the
to
lake.
speak.
You're up by the lake.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm up by one of those 5 lakes.
Exactly.
The Midwest.
Yeah, I think it's going to do a good job. Actually, shout out to my sister-in-law. She got me a copy of Watch Dogs for my birthday, so
Nice.
I will be giving impressions on that the week that comes out.
To me, it seems a lot like how GTA 5 did it. The landmarks are there, but the stuff in between isn't right. It's compressed.
So as long as they get the fact that if they get the loop right, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that's not hard to do. You make sure the trains are in the right place and the stops are in the right place or sort of in the right place, I'll be happy.
And Chicago keeps on running.
Yep. And I keep running Chicago.
Heyo. The other Jay-Z tweets in, I fired up Witcher 2 since everyone's saying it's so much better than 1, and it's so unresponsive it feels like I'm playing by mail. Did you experience the same thing, or do I need to consult some technical support boards? How about on console? So I heard the console version runs really, really great.
Okay.
and has some extra bits in it for the 360 version. I don't know if it came on PS3. That doesn't sound like The Witcher 2 on PC. That's supposed to be a fairly smooth experience.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like that game.
No.
I would go get that. I'd get that checked out. See a doctor. See your
tech
licensed medical professional.
Yep. I have to. Jay-Z in chat says that river better turn green.
That's true.
But yeah, I would love to see if that actually happens. Just turn the clock in Watch Dogs back to March-ish in Chicago to see if they actually dye the river.
That'd be pretty great.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
And our only email this week comes from Jeff. It says,
Hey,
what's
Jeff.
a game you've been wanting, whether it's a sequel or otherwise, that hasn't been localized? I've been waiting for God Eater 2 to come out on the Vita forever. It's in Japan, but for some reason Namco won't release it here. In my opinion, it's the best Monster Hunter style game. I love the crafting and bullet customization you can do. I was hoping since it was free on PlayStation Plus that more people would play it, but it doesn't seem like that was the case.
Ava 3.33.
For movies, yes. That's still coming. Someday.
Is it?
Someday. That's what I tell myself to help me sleep at night. I feel like for games, especially with digital distribution, this typically isn't a problem anymore.
Yeah.
That somebody like Xseed or Atlas or
Arxis.
or Axis will come out and they'll say, hey, it's $30 downloadable. It's this weird Japanese game that, like Akiba's Trip is coming out here. That game would have never come out in the US. Like I talked about Conception 2 on PUP last week. That game shouldn't have come out in the US, and it did. It's also not very good. But, and that's half the reason why we don't get some of these games. But I feel like that's typically not a problem anymore, even with RPGs.
Yeah.
Like, we're still getting Trails in the Sky 2.
The only one I can think of directly was, what was it, Mother 3, but that got a really great fan translation,
Yeah.
so...
I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe Mother 3 is never coming out. Yeah, it's never coming out because of drugs in it. Let's be honest. If you're really interested in why that game didn't get localized by Nintendo, look up the drug trip part. Nintendo can't bring that here. Do your research. But then just go play the translation.
Yeah.
Game's supposed to be good. I haven't played it yet. But yeah, I feel like that's been the only big one for the last while. And I think the only one that people have been upset about is the Miles Edgeworth Adventures, the second one of those.
Oh, really? They didn't do that one?
No, it never
I
came
could have
out.
sworn that came out.
Not as far as I've known.
Add that to my list, then.
There you go. Yeah, but otherwise, I feel like most of the times someone will ask, Atlas or Xseed, and I'm like, hey, are you guys bringing this over? And they're like, no, that game's not good. It's like, okay, just curious.
That? No, you don't want that.
Well, and it's not. We're so far from the days where like if this was still Square Enix, we wouldn't have gotten like Final Fantasy 13. We didn't get Final Fantasy 5, or they're like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't going to come out. It wouldn't have sold that well.
Yeah.
That's not how the industry works anymore.
Nope.
So at the very least, it'll be like, yeah, it's a digital only thing, like how Capcom did with the last Phoenix Wright game. We can't press it. We don't have that much money, but go buy it digitally. You at least still have it. So
You still have the opportunity to play it.
yeah, in some sort of official way that you can support that franchise. If I know a lot of people are like, I'm not buying it if it's not physical. Well, then you won't get any more of them. I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
All right, but that's all of our emails and tweets this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp, and everywhere else you can find us is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join our forums.
Yeah,
Mark yourselves on the map. It is yours. It is the community.
It is all of ours. The royal we.
It is. Yeah, the royal we. You threw out the ringer for a ringer. Anyway, tuck and roll. Ralph's around here. Anyway, yeah, don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. That's one of our favorite things to see. Join us for Monday Night Game Night. Could be anything. Most likely going to be Battlefield 4. Join us for Steam Game Night. That is 10 p.m. EST. That is on the Steam group. Join them.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursdays.
The current TVGP Game Club game is The Witcher. I believe Lance Freeman on the forums actually finished it. So
hey,
kudos to you, man.
We got one.
Yeah,
you get a cookie with a candle in it.
I made it to Chapter 3. I had too much to do this weekend to actually sit down and play it, unfortunately. Watch for me playing it on twitch.tv/thehannah and probably playing a bunch of other stuff because it's streaming now. And
I
keep
just
an
set
eye.
up Twitch.
Yeah, nice. And keep an eye on the forums because hopefully, work's been crazy. Scott, this message is actually directly for you. I did get your email a while back. We do need to set up Game Club Episode 0, sort of our test episode. I'm going to be posting in the forums this week and looking for people to volunteer to sort of test our call-in method.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get that up and running this week.
And don't forget, you can watch this show live, big and dumb, every week at twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Before we go, I want to say thank you very much again for all of the fine men and women that are the San Diego firefighters. Our house wouldn't be here if it weren't for all of your fine service, so cannot thank you all enough. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
I have 2 titles.
What you got?
Karma Bomb It.
Okay.
And Live from the Atrium.
I got that one. All right. Let's go down the list. Chat, start typing in titles. So, Wales, I can't say that. Please deal with it. Battlefield 4 Fest. 90 on, 4 off. The Hyundai Resort. My Little Shorty Shoddy. Another Bullet in My Face. Doing the Gopher. Team Deathmatch the Game. I'm sorry, Team Deathmatch, the game. Shareholders Are Happy. Loved Every Second of It Again. Dead Prussian Princess. Live from the Atrium. Farming the Game Dry. 100% of 2% is 4%. This one's from P-Flux in chat. You Just Shot That Orphan Puppy. Titanfall Modern Warfare. That'll make the hit counter go up. Making It Rain with Gears games. Great, another cat helmet. Master Chief wearing some dumb scarf. Where's the Rabbit? This Thing Exists Within Itself. And the Royal We.
The other Jay-Z in chat says Battlefield 4 as performance art, which I kind of like.
That's not bad. I don't know. I'm a big fan of oh God, what was it?
I really like Live from the Atrium.
Yeah. Just because it's sort of an overarching theme of the whole episode.
It really is.
The birds are chattering the whole show.
They just love sitting in the eaves of my house. So weird. P. Flux says, encroaching on my bubbles, Live from the Atrium, and I forgot Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
All right.
It's got to be Live from the Atrium.
Yeah. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 343 for May 19th, 2014. Live from the Atrium.
The bird is the word.
Next week, we're in the Arboretum.
Next, we're going to Equestrian in this. Peace.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching us live. We will see you all next week. Adios.
Laters.
Peace.